Trump's at it again, that is, going after his political enemies and personal grudge matches. This time he's going after New York City's Attorney General Letitia James. Why? Because she's the woman who dragged him into the courts, who exposed his lies, and made him pay for decades of fraud. Now, Trump, of course, holding personal grudges very harshly, is now going after the Attorney General and is setting up the DOJ to pursue a case against her for fraud, the same thing that she pursued him for. The truth is, this case is nothing more than Trump trying to weaponize the DOJ to go after his political enemies. This is his way of trying to settle a score with an attorney general who held him accountable for fraud. Letitia James is New York City's attorney general, and she's the one who tore down Trump's empire. Essentially, she's the reason why people finally stopped believing that he was some business genius, even though they never should have believed that in the first place. But you see, back in 2022, Letitia James hit Trump with a civil fraud case that basically said, "You have been lying about your money for years." And she proved it. Her office dug up everything they had on Trump, which included fake valuations, fake balance sheets, and the fact that he was making up how much square footage his properties really had. For example, take the Trump Tower, which he said was 30,000 square feet when it came to barely a third of that. Trump also inflated the worth of one of his buildings on 40 and Wall Street, claiming that the building that was really appraised for around $220 million was valued at $500 million. So this was a gross inflation on President Trump's part. And now, of course, finally, his residence in Mar-a-Lago, he claimed that it was worth like it could be sold as a private mansion, even though it was legally restricted as a club. For over a decade, him and his team of accountants have been cooking the books in order to make him look richer, with the benefit that with that wealth, he could then score better loans and cheaper insurance, so adding more to his wealth. And that is essentially fraud. And Letitia James, our Attorney General, called it exactly what it was. And it wasn't just Letitia James who thought that, it was also the courts, like Judge Zohran, who ruled that Trump's whole operation was built on this fraud, and then fined him nearly $500 million over it. Think about that. Our current sitting president was found guilty of over $500 million in fraud. And not only could that have been a major financial loss to the president, but it was also a major loss to his ego. The man who once credited himself to be a winner, even though he had a small loan of $1 million from his father. Nonetheless, this did hurt Trump's ego in showing that he really wasn't as wealthy or as business savvy as he really thought he was. You see, Trump sells himself as the winner, and our Attorney General Letitia James proved that he's really nothing more than a liar.